Hey friend, hey babe, how you doing today? I'm well, that's well. What you got for me? I got a video today. It's a 2-for-1. Gonna be a lot of fun, and it's the Braxtons. Hey babe, how you doing today? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I love you and God loves you best. Thank you so much for returning to my channel. And if you are new, welcome, welcome, welcome. It is a pleasure to have you. We are back with a new video for the Braxton Season 1, Episode 6. It takes a village. It takes prayer, honey. It takes prayer. So the episode opens with Tony and Miss E meeting for lunch. She say her mama smell good. My mama be smelling good too. I love smelling my mama. She smell like a mommy. And they discuss Tracy's birthday celebration. And she also talks about Kevin Jr. meeting with Spirit for a grief counseling session while he's in town before he heads back to Maryland. Tony is talking about her residency. She says that it begins on Mother's Day, and she's just trying to prepare her body because she doesn't want her lupus to flare up. She has a little bit of a cold right now, so she's just trying to just get her zen on and just make sure that her health is top notch for the performances. She also shares with us that she's going to be telling jokes. It was like, okay, Miss Tony, you got jokes? What's your little jokes? What's your jokes? Give us the jokes. She said, okay, you ready? All right, here it goes. She says, what do you call a bear that has no teeth, no fronts? And I said, what you call that bear? She said, a gummy bear. I said, you know what, Miss Tony, that's cute. That is cute. So I'm not even mad at it. It's gummy. You don't even have to explain it. It's a keeper. So then Miss E decided to tell her, she's like, oh, I got my dress. She said, what dress? She said, the dress for the date. She said, girl, what date? She said, the blind date you supposed to be fixing me up on. She said, oh, you really was serious about that? She said, you wasn't? She said, you know what, mommy? Don't worry, I got you. She said, what about if we put you together with a nice retired basketball player? She said, no, I don't want no basketball player because they be having them bad knees. And I don't need nobody with no bad knees. She said, okay, fair enough. What if I get you a nice professor? Get you a nice professor, mommy. Y'all can, pontificate together. She said, I don't need one of them professors because, he been thinking all his life and his brain might be swelling and he might have that Alzheimer's. Miss E, I think you might be intimidated by that intellectual. But we not going to go there. We not even going to go there. More importantly, if nobody else noticed, I noticed that Tony totally just forgot all about this so-called date. This was not on the top of her honeydew list, okay? That was just a conversation she was having as a kiki with her mama, and her mama took it seriously. Now Tony is obligated to try and get her mama a date. And so now we see Tony at Michael Costello's style studio. Y'all remember Michael Costello from Project Runway? He was thicker back in the day. He was one of the big boys, but now he all slim and trim. He one of the skinny girls. But yeah, that's Michael Costello from Project Runway. So we are happy to see him and doing well. But Tony is at his studio. She is getting fitted for some after show outfits and after party outfits, And so then she's pushing the idea. She wants everybody to know that, denim is modeling. Denim is modeling. So she's trying to convince Michael to get him to get denim to walk in some of his shows. And, I saw how he was conversing with her. He was kind of like curving her a little bit. But we gonna look past that. So now we hop to Atlanta, and we see Tamar. She's at Carlos King's live podcast show, and in the pre-discussion, they are talking about everything's gonna be fine. Talking about Tamar wants to know what kind of questions. She's kind of nervous. She's like, I don't know what to expect. And he's like, everything's going to be great, girl, period.com. You're going to be fine, hashtag. That's her claim to fame, right? So, when they get on the show, on the live podcast, Tamar recounts how black television growing up kind of molded and shaped their being and, their coming of age growing up. So she expresses how when asked, does she regret? She does not regret doing the show for the culture, as she says, but she does regret it in the aspect that it kind of damaged and tethered relationships within her sisterhood. So she does regret it from that standpoint. And I can understand that. That's a big price to have to pay. But I mean, Tamar, let's be honest, you was doing the most back then. We love it or hate it, we knew you for who you were. And although you're a little older, I think you see the effects of said behaviors, and you see the negative outcomes. You see the negative outcomes, the negative reactions, just the consequence of these behaviors that come from, wanting to be in the spotlight, because that was your whole objective, to want to be the star. You didn't want to be a doo-wop pop girl. You wanted to be the star. You didn't want to be in the background anymore. But I don't think you were ready for the price that it comes with. The emotional price tag. Then the topic of she invents is brought up, and she explains that she was 26 years old when her and Vince started their courtship, their relationship. Fast forward, she says her love for him was true and honest, and it was an honest love for that time. And I understand that, and there's nothing wrong with that. Life is change. We grow, we change, and sometimes as we grow, the people that we were with we don't always grow to evolve together. Sometimes we outgrow, and so we grow apart. And so we have to make changes and concessions. We have to make concessions for those changes that arise. It's not necessarily a revision in our life. It's just a new journey and a new path. And then they ask her about her experience now on the show. And Tamar says that she is a friend of the show. I really wanted her to elaborate on that. She went in to give an explanation about having mental responsibility and just her reasons for why she had been wanting to quit since season 3 and all of these things. But I'm like, what would make you make a statement saying that you were a friend of the show? And I'm like, if it's a matter of appearances and like how often we see you, if that makes you a friend of the show, then you're no more a friend of the show than Tony. Because we see you just about as much as we see her. The only ones we see consistently are Tawanda and Trina. And other than that, Tony makes a cameo. And Tamar has, as far as I'm concerned, she has her scenes separate from everyone else. That's what it looks like. But she says that she has boundaries. She says that people have this perception that she's an attention seeker, and all I have to say is, are you an attention seeker? I'm not going to answer it. I'm asking, are you an attention seeker? Guys, drop down in the comment section. Ladies, drop down in the comment section and let me know, do you think Tamar is an attention seeker? And if you do, tell me why. Tell me why. And Carlos is messy. Carlos is messy. He is a bald-headed ass, messy ass queen. The end. Moving on. We have Miss E meeting up with the girls. She's having a day with the girls. She's meeting up with Miss Marla Gibbs and her daughter Angela and Judge Maybelline. Why did Tony call Judge Maybelline Auntie Judge May? Now y'all trying to tell me that Judge Maybelline is so into her title that she don't let nobody not call her by her title? You gotta be kidding me. Auntie Judge May? No. I don't think her real nieces and nephews call her Auntie Judge May. But anyway, they are, after OG has prepped them on how the scene is going to go. I don't like this. He done prepped the ladies and let them know that Miss E's gonna pretty much lead the scene with her conversation about her blind date, with Angela help of asking, well, what's going on in your life? So she recaps and discusses the blind date. She recounts when Tawanda tried to set her up with some little 27-year-old young man. We're going to call him a young man. Then she talks about her criteria. She would like them tall. She want them to have that guap. And then she wants them to be able to fulfill her needs, okay? So then she said something and it had to do with age. It ain't nothing but a number. And so then Miss Marla let us know that we are spirits who don't travel in age, and I'm paraphrasing that part. So she says she chooses to vibrate on 30. And them heifers was just tickled by the word of vibration. She said, you know, our spirits are vibrational and they don't have an age. So she chooses to vibrate on 30. She's just saying that she is 30. She stopped at 30. She don't care how old she ages in earth years. She is 30. And then they started talking about the sixth. And she was like, well, you know, if you need it, if you want it, you can have it. And if, as far as I'm concerned, you could do it for yourself. Hey. Now, we know Miss Marla is a lady of a certain age. And I just want to know, no, I don't. No, I don't. Moving right along. Tony arrives at Denham's photo shoot. And can I just say, is that me? Or did it seem like the photographer was pretty much paying Tony dust? Like she was like standing back in the background, like mom at the first day of school. Then she said, I'm Denham's mom. He's like, I'm like, okay, girl. And so after he finished taking the last snap, last shot, and then he's going over to show Dylan the photos, and she's like, oh, can I look? And they was like, sure. And she just bumped old Dylan out the way. And I'm like, Tony, come on, don't be that mom. Don't be her. So then Denham is having a conversation with his mom. And he's talking about, you know, making a name for himself and just finding his own path, finding his own way. And I was like, you know, good for him. He needs that. But what got me was him talking about his namesake and saying that he knows that Tony Braxton is always going to be a name. But he needs to make Denham Braxton a name too. And I'm like, Denham Braxton. What's Carrie's last name, y'all? I need to know. I meant to have this ready. Okay. Lewis. Carrie Lewis. Yes. So wouldn't you be Denham Lewis? Not Denham Braxton? Y'all leave for me in the comment section below if you mean to tell me Carrie agreed with Tony that are these they stage names or on they, you want to tell me on their birth certificates that they don't have their daddy's last name, they carry the last name Braxton? I don't believe that. This got to be a stage name, because some people, they can have a stage name. They in show business. But I need to know, because when he's like, he need to make that a name, and I'm like, no, you are a Lewis. That's not your name. You're not a Braxton. Your mother's a Braxton. You're not a Braxton. You're a Lewis. These people just be discrediting the men in the family. This is like, this is a this is pattern behavior, but this is what they call this is pathology. This is just something that's just gonna, it seems like it's just gonna continue. And it was passed down from their mama. The mama is the catalyst. The mama. Speaking of the mama, she meets up with Mr. Shelley, who was her blind date. And I named him the Purple Joker because he had on all purple and he likes to joke. He liked to have fun. He liked to joke. He said he liked to tell jokes, so I call him the Purple Joker. And so they was at the restaurant and they had the, and he said he don't know what the names of these things is on this menu. He just want a burger with some cheese, something simple, some fries. He said he don't even do spaghetti like that. That's too fancy. He said he don't know. So he asked the waitress when she came, he said, y'all got some black people food? She said, oh, black people food? She said, well, the chicken sandwich. He said, all right, I'll take that. And so Miss E said, I'll second that. They get the chicken sandwich, and then they get some yuca fries, the yuca fritas. So he said, what she say, yuca frikas? You a freaker? He thought, Mr. Shelley thought he was slick. He was trying to ask Miss E, was she a freak on the low? But Miss E said that she didn't feel any need to answer that because she didn't see where there would be a second date. And she didn't see the need to exchange any phone numbers because nothing was going to be happening. So then, again, where it gets important. So KJ, apparently he meets with Spirit for his session. We see that. And we see that he was on the phone with, I guess, his impending ex-wife, but we just gonna call her Olivia. So he met with O, and they was on the phone FaceTiming, and then baby boy just got slumped and just, so then the production, they contact Tawanda. Tawanda came rushing over like the doted auntie she wants us to believe she is, and she came over to check on Kevin Jr. and the production team had already got his medication and everything. Now what I didn't like is that they didn't take this young man to the hospital, or they didn't call for the paramedics to check him out. He had a seizure. Seizures have to do with the brain. So I would think you would call the paramedics. He could have hit his head. He was saying something about his arm or something. So he fell. He could have really injured himself. He should, every time he should have been seen by the medical assistance. He should have been, medical assistance should have been sought for him. Nevertheless, they didn't do that. And I'm just so triggered. I'm so annoyed by this. Tawanda was talking to them. The production comes in with the medication, and then she calls the mama, which is Miss E, on the phone. She's like, well, that just means we need to lighten your load, baby. And I'm like, well, how do you propose we do that, Miss E? These words sound good, but what are you going to do that? Like, what are you doing? Nothing. How about that? So then Tawanda says that she's going to call Olivia because I guess there's a hearing coming up. He can't fly because he just had this seizure. So she says that she is willing to ask for continuation on the hearing. So she was supposed to get it rescheduled, but in fact, baby girl went on ahead and went through with it. They filed a judgment in her favor because he wasn't there. So she got full custody of the baby. She got the house, all kind of stuff. And so his family, when he told them about it, they just sitting there and they like, oh, we sorry to hear that. He told them about, you know, his marriage, and they was about the baby. They was like, oh, well, you can contest that. You can appeal that. You can contest it. And then he told them about the house. They like, oh, wow, we sorry to hear that. Sorry about that. And then the boy just had a seizure and y'all let him stay in the hotel by himself. And he was like, you could tell he felt bad, but he didn't know how to express it. He was like, you know, if you could just call and check on me. Just call and check on me. So I was like, you know, I expressed the same scenario to my mom. I said, Mommy, could you let your nephew stay in the hotel room knowing that he just had a seizure? She said, no, I think he would have to check out and he would have to stay with me. He couldn't stay there by himself. I wouldn't feel right knowing that he just had seizures and I'm letting him stay alone. Exactly. So I don't know what kind of ish they on, but it's some real bullshit, and I don't like. It looked real. It was real fake to me. It was real fake. It was they was putting on, because at that very moment you should have told him, baby, pack your shit. And you trying to tell me, Trina, you don't have a spare room in your house, a guest room in your house? Tawanda, you trying to tell me you don't have a guest room in your house? He was only going to be there for a night. Y'all always talking about family, how you need to be surrounded by family, but you left him in a hotel where he could have had another seizure. And when the lights go out and the cameras go off, production ain't there, I'm sure. Y'all some old ignorant ass, selfish ass. Y'all tried Tracy when she was living. Y'all treated her like scum. Now y'all exploiting her child and exploiting her death. Like, with family like this, I know, and it's okay to say, because everybody has some family members or some family dynamic where you say, with family like this, who needs enemies? Who needs an enemy when you got family like this? You don't. Leave your comments in the comment section below. Let me know what you thought about this video. Let me know what you thought about the whole situation about leaving Kevin Jr. in the hotel by himself. As always, I thank you so much. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. And until next time, bye.